I've been sober for about 18 years, bro. 18 years I've been sober. I haven't drank, I haven't smoked, nothing. And so I want to make this video um giving out uh tips and tricks, I guess, that how I got sober and I kept it off for over 18 years, right? So I'm Jo, and welcome to my channel. And let's get to the first, I guess, tip. Tip number one: in the beginning, you have to, but I really mean this with the bottom of my heart. You need to stop playing the victim. Once you start playing the victim and you realize everything is your fault, that's when everything is going to start making more clear in your brain, right? And you're going to start making better decisions and trying to figure out how to stop to drink. Okay. And the thing about drinking is, or any kind of thing, is that that you've been doing it for a very long time, and even if you want to stop out of nowhere, it's really hard. It's because it's a habit, right? It's something that you naturally do, just like you tie your shoes, or let's say that you like wearing hats like I do. You wear your hats, right, all the time. You think about it. I'm like, okay, I gotta do this. It's just a habit. But my first tip is you need to recognize that it's your fault and nobody else's fault. It's your fault that you're there. It's your fault that you let yourself go like that. It's your fault that everything is happening. It's your fault. Once you get there, you're gonna start thinking about it, and you're gonna be like, okay, wow, what can I do, right? Because you started thinking, right? Second tip that helped me when I used to drink, man, trust me, bro, I was like in the bottom, man, in the bottom of the barrel, like nothing. I had nothing, man, like no car, no nothing, no girlfriends, nothing. And so before I actually thought seeing myself sober, I was like, I wanted it, like, to end it all. I was like, I don't want to be here no more, because I was like, damn, it's no point. I mean, I'm alcoholic and I'm a teenager, mind you, because I've been sober that long. I stopped before I turned 21. And I was just like, man, if I can't myself, right, because that was my plan, I'm not going to live the next 20, 30 years drinking and smoking or whatever. And I was going to be like, no, I have to put my foot down. And once I kind of like started taking accountability, I was like, man, I really need to like see myself, being sober, having a good time with family, friends. Man, you got to have your imagination, man. You have to imagine everything that you want. You have to imagine it. Your subconscious mind can't tell the difference between real life and what's not real and what's real. And you have to have an imagination, man. I'm telling you, this works, because I used to drink my ass off, and I used to be like, man, I was like, man, I gotta be sober. And I actually pictured myself being sober. I started seeing myself sober. I used to see myself not holding a beer. I used to see myself not smoking. I used to see myself having a good time with friends and family. I used to see this before, and I used to tell my friends that I used to drink with, I was like, man, bro, one day I am going to stop drinking. And they did not believe me. Why? Because they also have seen me drinking for a very long time, and I created that as a habit. So they don't believe that, because they don't see that of me, because I was always on that. I saw myself being sober, man. Please, if somebody's listening, just pretend that you're sober, man. Just pretend you're having a good life. Just lie to yourself in your brain. I don't know, do something that makes your brain believe that you're sober, and that before you get it, you're gonna get it. And then my third advice that I have is that obviously it's the friends, right? So when you go out there and you drink, right, and you're trying to stop, obviously you go to places where everybody else is drinking, and my same friends, right? When I had like a week, I finally mastered to be sober for a week after a very long time. I stopped for a week, but then my fault was I would go back with my friends because I was bored, right? I was like, man, you know what? I'm bored. I can't, I need to like go out, relax, thinking that I was doing the right thing. And obviously, I always end up getting drunk again or smoking, whatever, because I did a lot of drugs. I did a lot of drugs. It's, I don't know how I'm still alive, right? And sober 18 years without no rehab. But man, I remember my friends were like, boom, boom, come on, let's drink it up. And then obviously they, mess with my, a man's ego when they, say, like names, right? Like those assaulting names, and you'll be like, man, I'm a man, I want to do that. I mean, hell no, you ain't gonna talk to me like that. But the thing is that you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with your friends, like you trying to change. If they don't want to change, that's fine, that's perfectly fine. But if you know that you need to change and you thought about it so many times, this works for anybody. It could be young, older, maybe a 40-year-old needs help right now with this, man. They can't do that, man. Trust me, bro, there's still hope. I am 30, about to be 39, and I've been sober. Yes, but don't think about it the wrong way, man. I know sometimes we want to have a good time, and I go out. Sometimes I go out, but I don't go out as like, oh my God, every single weekend. Sometimes I like to have fun and just have a good time, whatever, without drinking, nothing. No, nothing. I don't do anything. And I go like this. And it's okay. It's okay. Trust me. Trust me that if I don't, alcohol, I believe that if you know how to use it, drink, have a good time with your friends, by all means, then go ahead. But like a person like I was, really suicidal, or like intrusive thoughts, I was angry all the time. I'm gonna fight everybody, and I was really aggressive with my mother, my brothers, my uncles, even sometimes I had a little girlfriend there, and them too, man. I did not know what I had to do, and I couldn't control it. So that's the third advice I'm telling you, man. You need to stay away from those guys, from those people. I know they're your friends, and then if they are your friends, they're gonna understand. But eventually, with time, that they chose that path and you chose a different path, and it's okay, bro. You can actually move on and try to figure out. Let's say you have a purpose, right, in life. Everybody has purpose, right? Like I'm trying to figure out what's my purpose, right? Still, after being sober that long, and I thought that I needed to be in a relationship, but I don't think that was my purpose. But somebody else, but you can have a purpose as well. Like maybe your purpose is to be in the family, have some kids. That's perfectly fine. Maybe your purpose is like opening that business that y'all want, or whatever, or starting content. Like I believe that is my purpose, right? Content, right? So anything and everything, man, it's just will fall back in place. Trust me, man. It's just that the first thing is that if you really want to stop drinking, smoking, whatever, it's all part of the it's all part of the ways that you need to get it through your head, take the steps necessary, right? And the other thing that was kind of weird but cool at the same time is that I read this book called Atomic Habits. I made a video earlier in my channel, right? How this book helped me with habits, right? But also that book actually has some key things that I use when I was trying to be sober in the beginning. I was like, damn, wow, like this book in a way is like, I never read that book when I was trying to stop drinking, but I read it a couple of years ago, like probably like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And that book kind of matches what I did. Visualization, I visualize it. I know that I started taking accountability. I started thinking about everything that I did wrong and blah blah blah, and start learning and imagine and doing all these things to one day be sober. And I remember it was November 21st, or no, November 1st, my bad, I'm sorry. before I was gonna turn 21, because I remember I was like, man, I cannot wait to turn 21, because I'm gonna just buy alcohol, get crazy, whatever. I'm gonna go do this, do that, and I cannot believe it. After in November, a couple of months before my birthday, I had this, I guess, this last draw that was the last time I ever drank. Man, I remember I was in the couch, man, I couldn't even sleep. Man, it was so bad, but I couldn't sleep. But yeah, man, I was just like, I got to, and I fulfill it. I did it. I mean, and I believe y'all could do it too, man. This is kind of like a little long video, I was trying to make it short, but I feel like if I make it short, it's hard for me to like make it short. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all stay to the end of the video, hopefully, right? And try to get something out of this, right? Because I know everybody needs some type of help, right? Obviously. And I'm like, I was thinking about like an idea of a video, right? And I was like, man, would be a good idea, me talking about how I got sober, right? Some tips here and tricks and stuff like that. So that's it. That's all I want to say right now. Hopefully somebody sees this video and they get inspired at least, or something, be like, man, you know what, I want to do what this guy did, right? He's been sober 18 years, so I still have hope. Yeah, you have hope. Even if you're 50, you're watching somebody that's 50 and you think there's no hope, there is hope, man. Trust me. If you believe, if you want to hit me up, send me a message. I'm glad to answer any questions, man. I know that life is hard. I know we're stressed out. I know everything is complicated, right? But we have to keep one foot forward and then the other one, and continue doing what we're supposed to do, right? Everybody's here for a purpose. And yeah, man, maybe I was meant to make this video, right? Took me forever to do this video, right? But it finally was done. So other than that, I'm Jo, and thank you for watching. Peace.